I'm so happy that Jim is looking at my face. He always takes notes. Lots of notes.
Well, everybody, I want to welcome you all here to our, what's today here? 2/24. It's the last week of February for our team call. And I want to introduce Kathy Helwig. Most of you know who she is, but I could probably tell you a few things you don't know about her. She's my longtime friend of, I forgot how many years, 20 plus, 20 plus years, and invited me to join her in this wonderful journey of Isagenix with her. And it's been so much fun. And she has been our fearless leader, guiding us through thick and thin and all the changes Isagenix has done. So I'm just going to say that, Kathy, take the lead here.
Take the helm, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you, Madeline. Well, welcome everybody. There's a couple of announcements I wanted to make before we get started. Let's see. A great announcement, a great news for us. If anybody's ever participated in the Builders Club, where you earn Isagenix Essentials with Isagenesis, if you enroll 5 people, well, they've made it easier for us to earn even more free products. So it's called the Team Builders Club, and there's 2 ways that you can earn. And let's see. The beginner builder enrolls 2 qualifying customers in a calendar month. We've got some background noise. Let's see what we can do about that. There. Okay, so 2 enrollments in a month. Now these need to be 100 BV enrollments. And if you do that, then the company gives you our customizable Essence Blend bundle. So that contains a coconut application oil, 1 Essence single oil, and 1 of the blends. And that the value of that one is $61. So everybody can be getting that one, right? But the second one is the Expert Builder. That's where if you enroll 5 qualifying customers in a calendar month, then you earn your choice of either Complete Essentials with Isagenesis, valued at $146, or our Nurtured by Nature bundle. And what that bundle looks like is it's got strawberry plant-based shake, Ionic Supreme, greens, and the lemon essentials. And that's valued at about $173. So that's awesome. That's just awesome gifts. But you get to choose between the 2. And if you do get your 5 enrollments, well, you also got your 2 enrollments, right? So you get both. So that's something to really strive for. I know a couple of people have gotten that. I'm very close. I need to get 1 more enrollment this week. So that's one thing. I wanted to talk also about University in Action. University in Action is an event that Isagenix puts on. There's only 3 in the country all year so far that are scheduled, and 2 of them are in March. One is in Minneapolis, March 6th through the 8th, and the second one is March 13th through the 15th in Phoenix. If there's any way any of you can get to one of those, I would do it. There's going to be another one later on in the year, but get there as quick as possible. Here's what I can say about that. If you ever had any fears about talking to people, about what to say when you're talking to people, about how to share your story, about how to just get in the mindset of doing the business, this is the place to be. You will come out of there fired up, knowing exactly what to do. And so, and I've been to 2 of them. So it's not like you only go to one and you're done. You can go to as many as you want. So I highly recommend looking into that. You can go to isagenixevents.com and learn more about it there, and you can register from there as well. Now let's talk about the Crystal Executive Reset. So I posted an updated Fast Track to Executive chart on the business group to show you just what's available in bonuses when you take advantage of the of going Crystal Executive and of the Crystal Executive Reset. For many of you, this is kind of a second chance to earn those bonuses. Or maybe you did earn them and you can earn them again. Well, that's really cool. Just by reaching executive. So the first deadline is the Crystal Exec in the reset is March 22nd, where you can earn an additional $250 bonus when you create 2 consultants and you become a Crystal manager. Okay, I earned my bonus. So you've got a month to do it, and that's plenty of time. Madeline, I want you to share how long did it take you the first time to get to Crystal Executive?
3 weeks.
Yep. It can be done. We're only talking about 2 consultants by March 22nd. Madeline did the whole Crystal Executive build in 3 weeks. Now this
Yeah, and then Eddie and I redid it again because sometimes it dwindles, and we did it again. And I want to say, I think we did it in 4 weeks the second time. But it you set your mind to it, you get your plan together, and then you can do it.
Yeah, going executive creates the foundation, right? I mean, and it creates the momentum. So it's so key to really go after goals like that. Now let's talk about wins. Gosh, I heard so many wins just in the last couple of days. So I want you guys to share. Who wants to share a win?
I have 2.
Yes, you do. Share.
Well, I enrolled 2 people with qualifying packs last week, and that's the first time, other than when I first joined, the first time I've done that. So that's exciting. And then I had a lady, I have an Isagenix sticker on my car, and I was walking out of Trader Joe's, and this lady was just kind of hanging around, and she said, "Is that your car?" And I said, "Yes." And she was looking for someone who sells Isagenix. It was on my car. So I got her phone number and texted her, and I'm waiting to, I'll probably reach out again tomorrow. But
that is so cool.
Wild. Yeah.
You've become a magnet. Awesome. Okay, who else has a win?
That is awesome.
Is Yvonne on the call? Yes, she is. Yvonne?
Yvonne, you're muted.
Can't hear.
Yvonne, are you there?
She's trying to talk, but she's muted. Can you
No,
unmute her,
she's not.
Kathy?
She's not muted.
Is the volume turned down? Her volume might be down.
I don't know. She said, I see her mouthing words. I can't hear her.
Well, I'm sorry you can't speak, Yvonne. I'll share for you if you'd like. She has had 3 enrollments just in the last week, and this is actually in the last month, in the month of February. This is something that she shared with me today, that she hasn't done that in a long time. And so I asked her, are you raising your identity? And we'll talk a little bit about that later. But it's very interesting. When we start raising our identity, we're clear on our vision, things shift. So we like to see that happen. Lynn, I know you have some wins.
Congratulations, Yvonne.
Yeah.
Yeah, today I was looking on the chat side of Facebook and noticing all the people, have the little green dot that are on Facebook. So I thought, oh, I'll just go down and kind of see who's there. And so I was just sending messages. I probably sent out 7 or 8 messages and said to people, hi, so-and-so, happy Monday. Hope you're doing great. And so I got a call back maybe 5 minutes after I sent like 8 messages. And it was a gal who I've never met, but I have talked to before because she is actually in my downline. But she's under somebody that stepped away, not doing Isagenix right now. So we've kind of been in communication, but I noticed after I started to talk with her that she's got 20 cycles sitting there on her site. So anyway, we were talking and I found out, I didn't even realize that she lives up in the Sacramento area. And there, for those of you that don't know, there's a big event up there in Sacramento with Dr. Bill Andrews and Peter Greenlaw. And so I said, oh my gosh, Carol, how close are you to Sacramento? And she goes, I'm like 40 minutes away. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So I told her about the event. She's trying to get off work. And then I said, and Carol, if you invite 2 people, the guests are free. If you invite 2 people to come with you, I can almost guarantee when they hear Peter Greenlaw and Dr. Bill Andrews speak, they're going to want to get on board with a Forever Pack. So she's all excited, and we're planning on meeting there in Sacramento in a couple weeks. So that was really good.
So this is really cool because she's actually accumulated volume. She continued to order product, at least 100 BV every month, which means that she continued to accumulate all the volume that's happening underneath her. And because of all that volume that she's accumulated, how much money is she going to earn when she becomes a consultant?
$1,080.
Very cool.
And Lynn, you know a little something about that. Why don't you share about that?
Yeah, do you want me to share that now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, as most of you know, I went to London, got back about a week ago. And it all started by, I knew my son was going to London, going to do a show. He's been there 3 months. And I really, really wanted to go. And so I actually thought, with us, it was before we actually started making the vision cards, but I put it in my mind like, okay, I'm going to make it some way to London, right? And so then when we started making our little vision cards, I made a London vision card. And it's got little pictures of London, and I got the back on there with a bunch of different little things. And so I made the card and also made one to connect with somebody in London. There's a second one there. I started thinking, okay, there's some way that I'm going to make it there. And so I realized that Craig, like Kathy had just said, had a ton of volume building up under his leg. And so much volume. And so I thought, oh my gosh, if I just find 2 people to put underneath him, he's going to make $1,200, or we're going to make $1,200. So it's like Madeline said it right earlier this morning. She said, I took the I should be doing this, into I must be doing this, because I thought, okay, $1,200 is going to pay for our trip, right? So anyway, made it happen, signed up 2 people under him, and cha-ching, got it. Then we had a few little hurdles like, oh my gosh, his card had expired and I wanted the money before the trip. So I was jumping through hurdles trying to, get the money so we'd have it in time, which we got like 2 days before we were going to go. So anyway, went to London and just had an amazing time. And while I was there, or before I went, I decided to look to see, because Isagenix is in London, so I looked to see the address, and also I'm like, okay, I got to make it and go look at the the London office. And so I got the office, or the address from the back office. We got to London and we picked a day that, okay, we're going to go out to Farringdon and visit the office, right? And so I had it on my thing. We looked up the address, and it said on my phone, there's no such address. I'm just like, oh my gosh, and we had already taken off. I think we were on the train or something. So I was like, okay, we got to figure out a way. So we were there. We started kind of looking around, trying to ask people, where this address might be. We were searching in possible places. I think we looked for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then Craig said, why don't we go to the post office? I saw a post office. So sure enough, we went to a post office, and the guy said, oh yeah, it's right around the corner. Well, we went the opposite direction, you know. So anyway, we finally found the office and got to view it. And I do have some pictures, which I'll show. Some of you might have seen my pictures, but I kind of put them on one page here. So this top one here is what the office in London looks like. So really cool. It was, again, right around the corner from where we were. That's the window of what it looks like. And then they have a buzzer outside. So I couldn't even walk in. So I buzzed a couple times, and this gal named Shar picked it up, and so I explained who we were, coming from the United States, and she said, oh my gosh, I'll be down in a few minutes. So she came down, let us in, had a great chat with her in this little room, and these are all the products that they have in London, which is only about 18 right now. And so they don't have isogenesis as of yet, but they have several shakes. So as we sat down, she was like, oh gosh, I wish we had this and this. And she said, you know, Londoners love peanut butter. And so I'm like, Craig, did you bring a bar with you? And he said, I do. I have 2 bars. So we brought out 2 bars. She snagged the peanut butter one. I said, you can have whichever one you want. So that was kind of cool to be able to share something that they don't have, which I wish now I would have taken more stuff. But let me pull up the other one. Let's see, stop share. Share again. I have one more picture. Oops. Okay. Oops, that's the same one. Huh. Okay, hang on.
It looks different, what we're seeing.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah,
so-
we're seeing inside like a meeting room.
Okay, that's interesting because, okay. Yeah, it showed up for me. It showed the other one. Okay. Yeah, here's their little meeting room. So it was really colorful and really cool looking inside. And I was taking some pictures of some of the computer desks, so I thought it'd be neat to share with everybody. And she kind of stopped me. She said, you know what, I think I'm going to have to stop you taking those pictures because, you know, if someone's sitting at their desk and someone's got their, you know, website open or their site open, you know, someone could actually zoom in and take their information. So I kind of stopped taking pictures inside, but asked her if I could take these. And so they do a presentation here at least a couple times during the month. And she's going to get back with me as to when they're doing it because I have a couple contacts over there that I'm getting in touch with. And this was their little kitchen back here on that end, which was fun. And then this, of course, is Eric Cooper's desk. And he was not there. He's in Australia. And I took this one because I thought this was cool. See the bell back here? So what they do when they do a meeting here, when someone reaches executive, they ring the bell and they celebrate, you know, when someone makes executive. So I thought that was cool. But so much fun to actually see, you know, another corporate office and just to be there was so much fun. So my goal is now, because one of my visions was that I'm going to, you know, reach out to somebody new that's there. And I have 4 contacts right now. And one guy especially, I really have a vision that he's going to be signing up underneath me. So I'm going to get him to go to the meeting and then go from there and sign him up. And of course he can't do the Forever Pack. So I approached everybody in London with the business opportunity. And so this guy was my Uber driver. And so he was really excited because he's a civil engineer driving Uber because he can't find a job over there. He's from Afghanistan, but he is now a resident in London because he's been there for 15 years. So he's my #1 prospect for over there. But yeah,
Nicely done.
Yeah, it was great. So much
So
fun.
how many of you know people who live in the UK? So if you know anybody, that's somebody that you're going to want to contact and let them know that there's an opportunity for better nutrition and more money.
Yeah. And if you look in the back office, I think that's where I found it. There's a whole site for international, and you can pull up different documents for the different countries that we're in. And it says, you know, the name of the office and who you can contact and email and stuff. So they've really laid it out nicely for us. But
Yeah. Isagenixbusiness.com probably has that as well.
yeah. So,
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that, Lynn. Awesome. So,
Yeah, that was cool.
you know, for the last, I don't know, couple months, we have been talking about designing your vision and creating an identity, and we're really going to continue to revisit the work that we've been doing on that, because you know, you have to be clear on what it is that you want. And why is that important? Well, I'll tell you. Because you could be doing all the actions towards what you want, but if you aren't upgrading your identity, then you're doing the actions on a pile of crap. What's that pile of crap? It's our conditioning, the belief systems that we bring into the Isagenix business that might not have been very positive. Now, some of you may have a great identity based on your conditioning, and some of us don't. You know, some of us, out of our conditioning, the environment, our parents, you know, we have developed limiting beliefs, you know, beliefs about ourselves that just don't stack up to the standard that we want to be in our identity in order to handle the abundance that's coming to us. You know, there's a statistic about lottery winners, and very, very few lottery winners actually hang on to that money because they haven't got the identity to handle it, right? You guys have probably heard that. And so that's why it's so important to do this work on vision and creating the identity. And so creating that vision and upgrading your identity creates the desire. Because without the desire, you know, we're probably not going to do the actions, right? For many of us, doing the actions is a sacrifice. And if the sacrifice isn't done out of that desire for that vision, then it feels like work. It really feels like work. And these actions done out of a vision, out of a clear vision that you have, they aren't out of a have to mindset, but they're out of a want to mindset, or a must mindset. Like in Lynn's case, you know, she wanted to go to London and she found a way. And coming from that want to mindset is a much better place energetically. And the people you attract will experience a much better energy coming from you. Okay? And you'll attract people who match up to that energy. That's the key right there. So just remember that sacrifice brings the blessings. So let's just have a little bit of a discussion about that. What if some people, any of you, what's your experience been as you've done this work? And if you haven't done this work, I'm just going to say you better do it. If you haven't had the success you wanted in Isagenix, then what's missing is that vision and the work to do that. So who would like to share?
What is it do you want us to share? I'm sorry.
So in doing the work, the vision work,
yes.
What is there something that you'd like to share that has shifted for you? Obviously, it's shifted for you, Stephanie.
Yeah. Well, you know, I chose a word. I've been choosing a word each year, and I couldn't figure out my word this year was. And so I decided it's abundance. And I had a hard time choosing that word, but I just decided to go for it. And I'm just doing it. I've tried everything. I'm doing the vision work. And Kathy, I didn't ever really share with you what I came up with my vision. I felt like a lot of it was, okay, yeah, my family, of course, I want to help take care of my family and things I want for my kids. But I dug really deep, and I found, went back into my childhood and found pictures of my grandmother's house in Maine. Now, she lived on Naomi Street, which I had forgotten that. My youngest daughter I named Naomi. This is just embedded so deep. And what I found is that, you know, something that, you know, the vision that pulls you forward is I want to have a place for my children's children, like my grandmother had, that I went to as a kid. And that was what got me emotional. That's what got me a lot deeper than they got to pay for college, got to pay for weddings. That's all important. But when I really, like you've told us, got in touch with that feeling, that was when everything kind of shifted.
Awesome. Did
Yeah.
you create a 3x5 card around that?
I did, and I printed out a picture of the beach, and there's a picture of the dock where I learned how to swim as a kid, and I just printed all that out, and yeah, that's when the tears came. And I knew I had hit that place that I had been trying to reach.
Yeah.
So.
So every morning as you read your card,
Mm-hmm.
do you flip it over and look at that picture too?
Yeah, well, what I kind of have two things going on. I had so many pictures. I did a publisher. I just did pages of pictures in publisher and printed them out. And then I have the cards. So I kind of have the cards, and then I flip through the pictures on the pages. And so I have that on the pages.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And do you get in touch with that feeling every time you read it?
I do. And I've actually started talking about it with people, like even people that I'm sharing Isagenix with. I'm like, do you know what? Someday, this is what I want for my children's children. Life is stressful. Everybody needs a place to retreat. And people usually kind of connect on that. And they're like, yeah, that's awesome. I'd love that too. So
That's great.
yeah.
But consequently, there really has been a shift for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like you've become a magnet.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. We have a Super Saturday coming up Saturday, and I've been inviting, and I'm amazed at how many people are saying yes. Like, I need to do a tally and follow up, but I may have 5 to 10 people at least coming with me. And
That's so awesome.
yeah, I'm really excited. So thank you, because you have led us in this direction. So thank you.
Well, I'd have to thank Dave MacArthur. You know, every Monday morning at 8 o'clock Mountain, so it's 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Pacific, it's worth getting up for. It's about an hour long. Sometimes he goes over, but he talks about this whole idea of raising the bar on your identity, and you know, creating that vision, journaling it, putting it on your 3x5 cards, and every single Monday morning, it is not the same call. It is a whole new call. I always get new nuggets, and you guys, if it's at all possible for you to be on that call, then I recommend it, because it'll really get you into the understanding and mindset of why it's so important to do this. If you have to watch the video, that's going to be available too. In fact, this morning's call, as soon as it's available on YouTube, I'm going to post it on the business group. They're gold. And it's really helped me to really get solid in my vision and the new identity that I'm creating. So the information on that call is in the biz group under files. So just click on the files button, go down a few files, and you'll see the trainings and calls document, and it'll be right there. Okay, so oh, we're almost out of time. One of the things that he suggests doing is, at the end of the day, you want to just journal. What were your wins? Now, a win could be something very insignificant to the rest of us, but big for you. It could be something like Lynn's win was that she contacted 7 or 8 people on Facebook, right? I contacted 14 people today on Facebook. Another win might just be, hey, I followed up with somebody. You know, especially if follow-up has been a challenge in the past, that's a win for you, right? So you want to document your wins just as a journal entry. But you also want to document, last week we talked about self-deception, knowing that there's something that you need to be doing, but not doing it. That's self-deception. stepping into a state of being that's just not serving you or the people around you, that's self-deception. There's lots of self-deception that can go on. The more aware we are of when we're doing that, the more we can control it. And so as you're journaling, after you do your wins, think about all the times during the day that you may have been in self-deception. And just awareness, you know, it just helps make you a better person and get better and better at this. So I'm finished. Does anybody want to add anything before we close out the call?
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
So congratulations to everybody who shared their wins. That's awesome. I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Nero because she had her first team building event last Saturday, and so that was like a successful event. And of course, like with Jim, he is just being, you know, getting comfortable speaking his heart out in front of people. So I wanted to give that shout out.
Good for you, Jim.
Thank you. I'm having tech difficulties. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
I've had to go to the iPhone from the computer.
Oh, okay.
Internet problems.
Yeah. So you're stepping out, doing the things that were uncomfortable before.
I'm just getting out of my head and more down to my center.
Yeah. Awesome. Congratulations.
Hey,
All right.
Teresa had a great share this morning when I was talking to her. Teresa, you want to share the nugget about Eden Slobin?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, Eden posted it goes right along with that kind of that self-deception and raising or upgrading our identity. But she had posted her, I could just call it her little biography in 5 steps. And the first step was she's walking down a road. There's a hole. She doesn't see it, falls in it. Takes a while to get out of the hole. She gets up, continues on. Next day, she's walking down the road, falls in that same hole. Takes a little bit longer to get out this time, but she eventually gets it and she's walking on. Mental note, God, I gotta avoid that hole. Walks, and it goes on the next day. She falls in it again. Finally, she's down the road. She avoids the hole and walks on. Whew, avoided that one. The next day, she goes down a different road. So kind of, it was an interesting little nugget that, we can do these things that you just get stuck in. You get stuck in. Eventually, it's like, no, I just need to avoid it. And then we tap into things like Dave's and Have It All, or getting on the calls and tapping in every week to our team and Kathy and the vision, and you change. You totally don't even go in those old paths anymore. You just rewrite what you're going to do and go in a whole different direction. So
Well,
yeah, that was a neat.
Dave shares a lot about how if you don't do the discipline of doing the work every morning and every night, journaling every night, reading your 3x5 cards every morning, and with feeling. And if you don't do that and you're walking down that path again, our old identity can keep, it's just automatically like a rubber band. It's going to keep pulling you back unless you do the work. And so avoid that hole. So great. That was a great share, Teresa. Thank you.
Avoid that head.
All right, everybody, have just a absolutely blessed week and a prosperous week. And we'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye.
All right, peace.